Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Bruin Steel here, and welcome back to another Steelers recap video. And today, my Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, and this game happened earlier this afternoon, and the Steelers get the job done, 16-10, and we improve to 7-4 on the season. And whoa, what a fucking game! Not really the satisfied win that I wanted. Obviously, to all you Steeler fans, we could have put more points on the board, but a win is a win. But before we get into this video, I do want to mention a few things. Firstly, the Pittsburgh Steelers finally fired our offensive coordinator and Matt Canada. I I was like, pinch me, I'm dreaming. Oh my god, that bald ass pathetic loser is finally gone. The Pittsburgh Steelers fired Matt Canada, and because he got fired, Mike Tomlin announced that Eddie Faulkner and Mike Sullivan will get the offensive coordinator position. Well, they're just temporary intern offensive coordinators, and just gotta say, the offense actually was better. Now that Matt Canada is gone. Thank God. The offensive playbook was better, but this team needs work on the execution on these plays. Like just Kenny Pickett once again. Look, there's gonna be no criticize of me. Criticizing Kenny Pickett. This guy felt more comfortable throwing the ball as he ever has than the other horrible game that he had. But the huge moment is that this team has not put up over 400 yards of offense since week 2 of 2020. It's been 59 games, and it's been so long since this team was able to hit 400 and more yards on offense. And what you know, today on my birthday, November 26th, the Steelers got over 400, I think it was 421 yards of offense. And what you know, that's what happens when you fire Matt Canada. But it's just one game. They obviously need more work. Kenny Pickett, he's been making the same mistakes a little bit in this game. Obviously, Kenny Pickett, he's like staring down receivers. I think at one point, like Pat Freiermuth, who had a monstrous game, by the way. I'm going to talk about Pat Freiermuth later in this video, but there's so many times that Deontay Johnson was wide open, and Kenny Pickett once again threw the ball to absolute no one. Like, what the hell? Who are you throwing the ball to, man? But overall, Kenny Pickett looks more comfortable than he has before. And this offense, man, let me talk about this offense. This offense was looking like a brand new offense out there, but the execution was bad. Najee Harris had probably his best game of the year. 15 carries, 99 yards, and he had that one touchdown. Jaylen Warren, he had 13 carries, 49 yards. Jaylen Warren had a horrible fumble. He fumbled the ball, and which eventually led to, by the way, Deontay Johnson. Oh my God, there was one play that we had a great drive going, and Deontay Johnson, man, it looked like he hauled the ball in, but it was ruled that he didn't have fully control of the ball, and I'm like, oh my God. But Mike Tomlin could have challenged that call, but who knows? It could go all the way. And then after the fumble, the defense just struggled. But then, what you know, we got an interception. The Bengals were starting Jake Browning, by the way, who played decent, like, in my own opinion, obviously. And would you know, they were marching down the field. One play, I believe it was Jamar Chase or something. It was a tipped ball, and it was a 39-yarder or something like that. I don't remember. But Jake Browning finally actually, they were going down the field, actually. And would you know, Trenton Thompson, who replaced an injured Minkah Fitzpatrick, gets the interception. I believe is his second of the season. So far, Trenton Thompson, I love this guy, has been an excellent replacement for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Picks off picks off Jake Browning. Sorry, I was about to say Joe Burrow, but excellent interception. And I'm like, you gotta take over. And what you know, Kenny Pickett marched right down the field. Right after that Trenton Thompson interception, our offense produces probably the best offense showing probably the best offense that we had in the entire season. Like, holy shit. And man, let me talk about Pat Freiermuth. Like, when Matt Canada was our offensive coordinator, we didn't see a lot of Pat Freiermuth until this game. Pat Freiermuth is definitely the MVP of this game. You know, that's what we have to do. We didn't do this season yet with Matt Canada. I'm glad that bum is gone. Unionizing our tight ends. Like Pat Freiermuth, he had 9 receptions, 120 yards. Kenny Pickett has been targeted him all game. And Pat Freiermuth had a monstrous game. You know, I know Darnell Washington had a reception, but unionizing our tight ends in this game was a huge factor. 120 yards for the big man, Pat Freiermuth. Like, you haven't seen Pat Freiermuth anywhere besides this game. Like, when was the last time we actually seen Pat Freiermuth do something with Matt Canada? He was pretty quiet throughout the season until this game started. Like, holy shit. But obviously the offense stepped up. Obviously we outplayed the Bengals in yardage and on offense, and yet we only won 16-10. Yes, we missed a bunch of points on offense, but this shows that this offense has improved a little bit now that Matt Canada's gone. Our first over 400 yards of offense produced in 2 years. I think the last time we had that was in week 2 in the 2020 season. But defense wise, I want to talk about the defense. This defense played well, except a couple bad, basically the team giving up yardage. At some point, I remember when it was the Bengals scored their touchdown, I believe. It was some pretty bad plays. That's when Jamar Chase had the tip in 39-yarder, I believe. I don't remember. But DJ Watt had 2 sacks. He had a bad call. So roughing the passer. At least the referees got the roughing the passer called correctly. That was just a bad roughing the passer call on DJ Watt. Obviously. Cameron Hayward had a sack. Nick Herbert had a huge sack. It was a complete bullet on Jake Browning. And looking at the Bengals, the defense actually only held the Bengals to only a few points. And basically, that's just that. Obviously, Jamar Chase is their weapon. Joe Mixon, obviously. And it was Drew Sample who got the touchdown. It was a stiff arm into the end zone that made it 7-3. After we got that field goal, the Bengals just marched right down the field. That's when the defense stalled. And right after that, we had a great drive in the third quarter. So pretty much the offense, I got to give condolence to the offense today. Now that Matt Canada's gone, we can just sign of relief, Steeler Nation. Like, holy shit. But Najee Harris had a monstrous game. MVP goes to Pat Freiermuth. We haven't seen Pat Freiermuth a lot this season until this game. Pat Freiermuth was used a lot in this game. Like I said, that's what Kenny Pickett and this offense needs to do, is utilize the tight ends. It's nice to see Calvin Austin III. He had only 5 yards of 1 reception with his Allen Robinson. But the real MVP is Pat Freiermuth. I love Pat Freiermuth. You can hear the moose in the stadium there. The Steeler Nation fans who made the trip to Cincinnati. And Kenny Pickett, man, look, this guy's been playing absolute horrible. But today he just showed that he's more comfortable throwing the ball. But I just want to see consistency. Obviously next week we play Arizona, who's pretty bad. I believe they're 2-9 or 1-9, but they're playing tough. Obviously we can't take them lightly. But I'm not going to talk too much about this game. I want to give a huge shout out to Dashie on a great game. By the way, me and Dashi had a bet going on in this game. So the loser would have to chug a bottle of soda. So hopefully he's a man of his word and pays up the bet. But give a shout out to Dashi, man. I've been around this man for so long now, and I know he was pissed off about the game. I was actually watching his stream, and shout out to him. It was a competitive game, a low-scoring game. Obviously, like I said, the Steelers outscored the Bengals, but we could have scored more points. But obviously, and honestly, Bengals fans, it just Zach Taylor completely screwed you on that last play. I believe it was 4th and 2. You guys could have gone for it. It was 16-7. You guys could have gone for it to try to win the game. But would you know, Zach Taylor lays an absolute pathetic egg and decides to hit a field goal and goes for an onside kick. And would you know, all we need to do is just kneel down. That completely screwed you up. I'm sorry, Bengal fans. But, that's just sad. Besides of that, Deontay Johnson almost had a touchdown, but it was ruled that he didn't have possession of the ball afterwards. Najee Harris had a touchdown run, and there was a flag, but it turns out that there was no penalty, which pissed off a lot of Bengals fans, I know. But other than that, and then finally, the Steelers, after so many years, 2020 was the last time this offense produced it over 400 yards of offense. Like, holy shit. That's what happens. See what I mean, guys? Matt Canada was part of the issue why this offense wasn't able to produce on the field. Once we got rid of this guy, well, there you go, over 400 yards of offense. But I'm not gonna talk too much about this game. The Steelers get the job done in Cincinnati, 16-10. We improved to 7-4. We're still hanging on in this AFC North race. But anyways, I'm Bruin Steel. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Peace, guys. And next week, the Steelers play the Arizona Cardinals, and that's gonna be. And people say that it's gonna be a, out of the ballpark, but you can't really, give up on the Arizona Cardinals. They're terrible, but they play hard. But anyways, the Steelers get the job done, 16-10. Thank you guys for watching. That is my recap video. See you guys later.